May I come in, sir?
Please come.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, ma'am. Good afternoon.
Please sit down.
Thank you, sir.
VIBU is from Tamil Nadu.
Yes, sir.
VIBU, if I am the candidate and you are the chairman,
Yes, sir.
what is the first question you will ask me?
Sir, I would love to know about you, so I would ask you to tell something about yourself.
I am the candidate, you are the chairman.
Yes, sir.
So you will ask me?
To tell something about yourself.
Okay, you tell me something about yourself.
Sir, I'm VIBU KRISHNA. I come from Tirupur district of Tamil Nadu. And I generally love interacting and collaborating with people. And I also am curious and want to learn a lot of things. But it is also a sort of my weakness because I try to start a lot of things and then jump onto other things. So like Abhimanyu, I'll know the way to go in and then somehow leave my way out. But I'm working on it also. And I also find it easier to connect with people, and a lot of people open up to me. So this is
Since you told about Abhimanyu,
yes, sir.
Tell us something about Abhimanyu. And if you can relate it to other characters in Mahabharata also,
Yes,
you
sir.
can relate and tell me. There are certain very significant things about Abhimanyu,
Yes, sir.
about Karna,
Yes, sir.
isn't it?
Yes, sir.
About Bhishma Pitama.
Yes, sir.
All that is there. It can be connected. If you can tell as much you can, you please tell us.
Sir, Abhimanyu was the son of Arjuna, and it is said that when he was in his mother's womb, Arjuna was reciting the story of how to break the Chakravyuh and then come out. And then it is also said that Subhadra, his mother, fell asleep just when Arjuna was explaining how to get out of the Chakravyuh. So when he was around 16 years old and he was in the war, and when Arjuna was drawn out somewhere else to some other part of the battlefield, and there was this Chakravyuh formation, and other elders like Yudhishthir and other Pandavas requested Abhimanyu as to if he knows how to break the Chakravyuh. But then he told that he doesn't know how to come out of it. But they told that they'll follow him and then somehow stop it from closing in again. But when he went in, they were not able to follow up with Abhimanyu, and he was caught alone in a ring of senior Kaurava commanders, including Karna. And then so he was won against so many experienced Kaurava commanders, and then he was killed by all those people. And Arjuna, as a result, swore revenge to kill the one who took off Abhimanyu's head before the sun goes down that particular day.
What role Bhishma Pitamaha played?
Yes, sir.
While Arjun was, this Abhimanyu was fighting and dying.
Sir, I remember Karna being in the list of commanders who were surrounding Abhimanyu. I'm not sure about Bhishma, sir. I don't know whether he was in the circle or whether he was lying already on a bed of arrows.
Well, can you relate Mahabharata to our life?
Definitely, sir. I remember reading a book called Difficulty of Being Good by Gurcharandas, who has done this quite beautifully. And one of the most interesting lessons that I found from that book was how everywhere there was no point where nobody was ready to forgive each person, be it the Pandavas or the Kauravas. Like Duryodhana could have forgiven Draupadi. Draupadi could have forgiven the Kauravas for what happened to her. And then Bhima could have forgiven in the end, at least Duryodhana, after everybody requested them. So even if there was one point where there could have been a point of reconciliation, I think the whole war could have been stopped. And then there is everyone doing their role ideally and not pragmatically. Like everybody, even Bhishma, was so ideal that he wanted to follow what the king says rather than what was ideal, what was dharma. And then we have Dhritarashtra, whose love for his son blinded him literally and figuratively also.
So what is the lesson for us?
Sir, the lesson is that we are, rather than figuring out what we want for ourselves or what is good for us in the short term, in the long term, what is dharma is what I think we should follow. So rather than whether it's right or wrong for one person or individual or the group, we have to figure out our moral compass and align it with the dharma is what I have figured out from the book.
VIBU KRISHNA,
Yes, sir.
You have interest in this GIS.
Yes, sir.
So what's the difference between GPS and GIS?
Sir, GIS is very simply a representation of any data that we have on a map. So GPS is a very complex system where we have satellites in the sky that figure out our positions, and then that data is being represented on a map. So basically, Google Maps is a mixture of GPS data from the satellites, and that is being put on a map, which is at its base a GIS system.
Okay. So are there any softwares that are used for this GIS?
Sir, I am learning from this open source free software called QGIS, but there are also very costlier application oriented softwares like ArcGIS, which is quite common, and Indian government I think uses ArcGIS for various applications.
Okay. What is geocoding?
Sir, geocoding, I'm sorry, I've heard of it, but I'm not sure the exact meaning of what it is.
Text gets converted into that.
Yes, sir.
Anyway, you are from Tamil Nadu.
Yes, sir.
So recently there was a controversy
Yes, sir.
where in the inaugural session of the assembly,
Yes, sir.
the Tamil Nadu governor disagreed to read the content that was given by the state government.
Yes, sir.
So what is your opinion on that?
Sir, my opinion being that governor, as a representative of the state government and as the titular head of the government, with various Supreme Court judgments have also said that the governor is supposed to follow what the cabinet tells him so I believe that should be the ideal position that should have been followed also, sir.
So you don't agree with what has happened?
No, sir. I think the governor should have followed what the cabinet advises him
Recently, one of the judges has opined that
Yes, sir.
the sons and daughters or the children of IAS IPS officers may not need further reservation
Yes, sir.
because they have already, one generation has seen that.
Yes, sir.
So what is your opinion on that?
Sir, the point of reservation was that it's not about economic standing also, it's to ensure that they don't get further discriminated. But I also to an extent agree with the judge's view that children of civil servants and bureaucrats have already almost achieved a position wherein there is very lesser chance of them facing any sort of discrimination as such. So rather than going by just a one profession saying that children of bureaucrats do not deserve reservation, it can be we can look at subcategorization and we can look at almost all professions where discrimination does not happen and ensure that only the needy people get it.
So what do you suggest? What should be done?
Sir, one important thing that has been suggested many times is subcategorization that I also see as necessary. And there are also very innovative methods that we can look at. So there is one that I came across is called multiple index based affirmative action, where for each deprivation, instead of having a fixed number of seats for each category like OBC, SC or ST, there's this mark that for each deprivation that one faces, one is given a fixed number of marks. For example, if one person is from a tribal belt or belongs to the tribal community, he can be given an extra 5 marks. If he is also disabled, he can be given another 5 marks. So this is a good idea, but it needs to be done on a pilot basis first and see if it's working, see if it's able to balance merit and the demands of all the communities, and then can be tried out further.
Okay, thank you.
Do you know Kamba Ramayana?
Yes, sir. I have not read it, sir, unfortunately.
What is the name of Kamba Ramayana? I mean, actual name, what is Kamba?
Sir, I'm not sure, sir. Kambar was the author and I always thought
he wrote Ramayanam.
Yes,
what is the name of the book?
Sir, I'm sorry, sir.
Ramavtaram.
No, I'm not. I don't know, sir.
Do you know something how Kamba Ramayana is special, different from original Valmiki Ramayana?
Sir, I remember reading it, sir, but I don't remember the differences as of now.
At least one feature, no? One difference.
Sir, I cannot remember as of now.
Regarding Bharatiya Sakshya Adhiniyam,
Yes, sir.
what is the special when compared to Indian Evidence Act?
Yes, sir.
How it is different?
Sir, one very important change that has been brought out is consideration of digital evidence. So initially it was secondary evidence. Now it's being considered primary evidence also, and this will bring out a lot of change now that every evidence has a digital component now because of our phones and CCTV and everything.
You think Indian Evidence Act that 65B is there, na?
Yes, sir.
Then how they're also they're taking care of that, na? How
Yes,
is
sir.
it different there?
Sir, but in 65B, we need a certificate, 65B certificate, and there are a lot of procedural difficulties in procuring the device. For example, let's say if there is a person who is recording using a phone in a crime scene, if that person's phone is not used to be presented as evidence, so that will not count as primary evidence under current Indian Evidence Act. So I've not read the new act in its entirety, sir, but we were told in our training sessions that this procedure has been simplified a lot, and that even if it's copied without altering the hash value and everything, it will be considered as primary evidence rather than taking the device of the owner who has recorded a particular crime or any evidence.
In the same way, criminal procedure code, any significant this thing? Bharatiya Suraksha, Nagarik Suraksha Adhiniyam.
Yes, sir.
What is this?
Sir, a concept called EFIR has been introduced, and there's another move with aligning with the new penal code also is that India has also allowed for in absentia trial. Even if people are not there, even if people have absconded to some other country, the trial can happen in absentia. This is in reference to the new provision that has been brought in Indian Penal Code, where Indians or any crime that has been committed outside India with repercussions in India can be tried here. So it is in line with that. That trial in absentia also has been included in CRPC.
Regarding cyber crimes, any this thing taken care of? Regarding cyber crimes are there, na? Any specific any importance is given?
Apart from this digital evidence provision, I'm sorry, sir, I'm not able to remember.
Regarding leave about this thing. Regarding cyber crimes,
Yes, sir.
which state policing is doing good?
Sir, as of now, we got to look at Hyderabad police station. We got a couple of police station visits. So Telangana is doing a good job.
Mm-hmm. Any news? What are the precautions or what are the advantages of this cyber crime regarding how they deal?
Sir, in Telangana, they have a very specialized separate team called Clues, which comes for every forensic audit of every crime. But I heard that they are even more specialized in handling digital evidences as such. So they're quite good at it. And then apart from Telangana, so there's this 1930 number, toll-free number, sir, which is again I heard that it's very effective. So much that the moment you call, the whole process of requiring the money or taking action gets underway. So these are two very good practices that I heard of recently.
Okay.
So,
Yes.
So what's the significance of blockchain technology in construction industry?
Ma'am, off the top of my head, what I can look at, the way I look at it, I think in the transportation of materials, when there are huge shipments going on for construction, so transportation, we can ensure that the materials are not tampered in that manner. So that is one thing that I can think of any future application. Apart from that, land records, definitely. Once buildings are constructed, especially social housing and slum redevelopment, many people don't have proper records. So once they are updated, once land records are digitized and modernized, it can be included in the blockchain network so that they are not tampered in the future.
Okay. So you've heard about 3D printing.
Yes.
So 3D printing is now becoming prevalent in construction also.
Yes.
So I would say now argue between the traditional building pattern for the police stations compared to 3D printing pattern.
Ma'am, especially for police stations, I think 3D printing, recently I think L&T completed building a 2-story house in around just 100 hours or something. So police stations, if you have to build it very fast, I think 3D printing is definitely advantageous. And apart from that, 3D printing also allows us to customize it endlessly within a computer. So that is there. I'm not able to think of any advantages for the traditional way of building Even quality control is more in 3D printing. So if I have to build a new police station
So which
anywhere, I
is
would
more
prefer
economical?
3D printing again, ma'am, because there is
Are
very
you
less
very
wastage
sure
of
about
materials.
that?
From what I have read and what I have heard from about 3D printing, if done in the right way, I think that is way more effective. But there needs to be scale. So if I'm constructing just one building, I need to invest in the 3D printer and specialized skilled people also. But if there is a system already present and I just have to build one more, apart from building so many, I think 3D printing will be way more costly, if accounting for scale also.
So currently you're from Tirupur district, though you're basically from Erode district, right?
Tirupur, ma'am, we
That
just
is
shifted to
Reservation.
Erode. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, so otherwise Tirupur.
Yes,
Now
ma'am.
Tirupur is said to be a knitwear capital.
Yes, ma'am.
What is knitwear?
Knitwear is a way of where I think the pattern of weaving is a bit different. Normally, in say the banyan cloth, this is parallel weaving. So in knitwear, a loop is made, and then the next thread is made taken in that loop. So much that at the end it will be very flexible.
Okay. So see, cotton cultivation almost there is 25% of the cultivation happens in India compared to
Yes,
the
ma'am.
global cultivation. There is huge demand for cotton even in India.
Yes.
And why are we actually depending upon the imports from Bangladesh? Why is not India growing in terms of exports of cotton to other Western countries and all that? What are the reasons?
Ma'am, I believe that we are self-sufficient in as far as production of cotton is concerned. But when it comes to manufacturing cotton material, cotton clothing, I think Bangladesh scores above because they are very formal. In fact, in Bangladesh, I think there are more formal employees in the apparel industry than informal. And in India, it's the opposite case, ma'am.
So
So I
looking
think
at the
formalizing.
Tirupur setup, what
Yes, ma'am.
exactly would you like to change in Tirupur setup to ensure that we reach Bangladesh, if that is the milestone or whatever the standard you have set for?
Ma'am, the first thing, my priority would be to increase formalization, help even small scale. There are so many small scale factories dotted in and around Tirupur. So helping them formalize, bringing them into the formal sector is one thing that I would try to focus on. Secondly, there is a need to diversify also, ma'am. There is intense competition. If not Bangladesh, we can at least be the next Tirupur. We need not directly compete with Bangladesh on the same products that they are trying to make. So there is this textiles and so many innovations within the apparel sector that the Bangladesh is not already in leading. So we can tap into that. So diversification is another thing that I'll try to focus on. And of course, pollution is a problem. So environmentally sustainable practices can be inculcated.
No, sir.
Okay, we have closed the interview. You relax now.
Relax now.
And